Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're eating clean, you're counting every single calorie, but you still feel totally exhausted, kind of foggy, and you just can't seem to lose that weight? Well, there's a hidden truth about your health and energy that almost no one is talking about. And let me tell you, it's going to turn everything you've been taught completely on its head.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a massive question. Why is it that the more we obsess over healthy eating, the more we see things like chronic fatigue, hormonal chaos, and stubborn weight gain everywhere we look? It's a huge paradox, right? It just doesn't make sense.
And that's because the answer isn't about counting calories. It's not about restriction at all. The real secret, the real answer, is found deep inside your body, way down at the microscopic level. It's all happening right now in your cells. So, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start by tearing down one of the biggest, most persistent myths in all of nutrition, that whole calories in versus calories out thing.
This slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the old calorie model. The one that treats your body like it's just a simple calculator. But on the right, that's the bioenergetic model. This one sees the body for what it actually is, this incredibly complex adaptive system where the quality of your food, not the quantity, dictates how much energy your cells can actually make. And this really gets to the core of why that old calorie model is just, well, it's a failure. When you start cutting calories, your body doesn't just happily burn more fat. No way. It's way smarter than that. It goes into survival mode and adapts by slowing your whole metabolism down. It also completely ignores the fact that, say, 100 calories of avocado and 100 calories of canola oil have wildly different effects on your hormones. The whole model just sets you up for a losing battle.
So that brings us to the main event, the core idea of this whole bioenergetic view. Let's just forget about calories for a minute. It's all about energy.
And when we say energy, we're talking about this one specific molecule, ATP. You can think of it as the rechargeable battery that powers every single thing your body does. Seriously, your brain firing off thoughts, your heart beating, your immune system, it all runs on ATP. If you don't have a steady supply, the entire system starts to slow down. So, how do we make this stuff? Well, in a perfect world, this is how it's supposed to work. It's pretty straightforward. You eat food, your body digests it, and then your cells take those nutrients and turn them into that precious ATP. A simple, beautiful process. But what happens when something gets in the way? And this is where it gets really interesting, because our modern world is just full of things that block this process. So let's meet the main culprits, the energy blockers. All right, first up, we've got an energy blocker that is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. And the crazy part is it's often disguised as a heart-healthy choice. We're talking about polyunsaturated fats, or PUFAs for short. Yep, these are those industrial seed oils. Soybean, corn, canola, you name it. Their chemical structure is just super unstable. So when they get inside your body, they basically break down and cause what we call oxidative damage. Think of it like cellular rust. They literally damage the little power plants inside your cells, your mitochondria, and slam the brakes on your ability to produce energy, all while creating this storm of inflammation. Okay, blocker number 2. This one is a little different because it doesn't come directly from your food. It actually comes from inside your own gut. It's called endotoxin. So here's the deal. When your digestion isn't great, or if you're eating a lot of things that are hard to digest, certain gut bacteria can kind of take over, and they release these toxins. And these endotoxins, they don't just stay in your gut. They can leak into your bloodstream and trigger inflammation all over your body. And just like the PUFAs, they directly poison your mitochondria, blocking energy production. This is a huge driver of things like insulin resistance. And finally, blocker number 3, this one is proof that the mind and body are absolutely 100% connected. It's chronic stress. A stressful job, money worries, not enough sleep. This stuff isn't just in your head. It creates a massive biological response. Your body starts pumping out stress hormones like cortisol. And what does cortisol do? It slams the brakes on your thyroid, the master regulator of your metabolism, and literally tells your body to start breaking down its own muscle tissue for emergency fuel. It's a survival state, and in survival mode, making tons of energy is the last thing on your body's to-do list. Okay, so we've met the villains that are messing with our energy. That was the bad news. Now for the good part.
how do we actually fight back? How do we start fueling ourselves the right way?
All right, this slide is basically the new game plan. It's so simple. On the left, we're going to prioritize foods that actually support energy production. Things like easily digestible carbs from fruit and honey, which give you quick fuel without stressing your gut, stable saturated fats like butter and coconut oil, and of course, high-quality animal proteins. And on the right, we minimize or avoid the energy blockers, the seed oils, the gut-irritating stuff like raw veggies and grains, and all that processed junk. And this brings up a really important point. That's going to sound crazy if you're used to the whole low-carb world. We actually want to eat carbs regularly. Why? Because keeping your blood sugar stable tells your body that it's safe, that there's plenty of fuel, and that it doesn't need to pump out all those energy-sapping stress hormones like cortisol. It's about keeping the body out of panic mode.
See, this completely shifts our perspective. We start to understand that symptoms aren't just random failures of our body. They're signals. They're all part of this interconnected web of stress, hormones, and overall health. Take high cholesterol, for example. We've all been taught that it's the bad guy, the villain, causing heart disease. But from this bioenergetic view, it's more like a firefighter rushing to the scene of a fire. The cholesterol is there to repair the damage and inflammation, damage that was probably caused by the PUFAs and endotoxins we just talked about. So cholesterol isn't the cause, it's the response.
And this slide right here shows you the whole domino effect perfectly. It all kicks off with that lack of cellular energy. That triggers a stress response, so cortisol goes up. The cortisol then suppresses your thyroid. A slow thyroid means slow digestion, which means more endotoxin. And what's the final domino to fall? Your body locks itself into this protective, low-energy state, where things like fatigue and waking just become your new normal.
So after going through all of this, what's the most important thing to take away from it all? I think it's a really profound shift in how you see your own body. Seriously, let this one sink in for a second. Your symptoms, the exhaustion, the weight you can't lose, the hormonal issues, they are not a sign that your body is broken or that it's failing you. They are actually intelligent, protective adaptations. Your body is just trying to survive an environment where it doesn't have enough energy to really thrive. It's not fighting you, it's trying to save you. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. What if the whole goal of health isn't to fight your body, or to punish it, or to restrict it into submission? What if the real goal is just to listen to it, and to finally give it the abundant, easy energy that it's been asking for all along?